The moment my boss stepped out of the elevator, past midnight, holding something tight in his hand, the entire room went still. And before I even saw what it was, my heart somehow knew. This night was about to break me. One for the party. I never wanted to bring my wife, Aisha, to the firm's annual work gathering. Not because she didn't belong there. God knows her presence could outshine half the CEOs in that room, but because things between us had felt strained. Little things. Barely there things. A softening in her eyes when she looked at me, almost like she didn't fully see me. Her phone always face down. Messages she read and deleted quickly. That distracted half-smile she'd give when I'd walk into a room. But I kept burying the unease. Marriage has seasons, I told myself. Storms pass. We'd weather this one too. She looked breathtaking that night, wearing a navy blue dress that hugged her in a way that made me remember our early years. Every step she took radiated confidence. Every smile she stirred in others felt like a small victory for me. Because she was mine, wasn't she? We arrived at the hotel ballroom buzzing with gold lighting, champagne glasses chiming, and professional laughter stitched into every conversation. My boss, Daniel, sharp suit, sharper eyes, welcomed us with his usual firm handshake. "I'm glad you made it," he said, giving Aisha a brief but warm nod. "And you look stunning, Mrs. Rahim." She blushed lightly, thanking him. I chose to ignore the flicker in his eyes. He was married anyway. And I trusted her. Or maybe I trusted the version of her I thought still existed. The cracks widen. Around 9 p.m., Aisha drifted away from me, chatting with coworkers' spouses or wandering toward the dessert table. Occasionally I saw her talking to Daniel from a distance. Nothing inappropriate, just light conversation. Still, something in my chest twisted each time I saw them. Maybe it was the way she tucked her hair behind her ear when he spoke. Or how she leaned in slightly, as if his words carried weight. I tried telling myself I was imagining things. "She just feels more comfortable," I whispered internally. "She's trying to fit in." But the discomfort crawled deeper. Around 10:30 she told me, "I'm just going to step out for a second, need some fresh air." "Want me to come?" She hesitated. Tiny pause. Almost invisible. Then she smiled too brightly. No, just need a moment alone." Alone. But I watched her leave through the glass doors leading to the dimly lit outdoor terrace. 10 minutes passed. Then 15. A voice behind me said, "She seems distant tonight." It was Michael, my colleague, swirling a drink in his hand. I exhaled slowly. "We've both been busy." "It's nothing." "Busy doesn't make someone glow like that when talking to another man," he muttered. I turned sharply. "What does that mean?" He lifted his hands, backing off. Forget I said anything. But I couldn't. Not anymore. The cracks had widened. And something ugly was leaking through. 3. The text message. When I finally stepped out to find her, she wasn't on the terrace. I checked the hallways, the seating area outside the ballroom, even the elevator lobby. Nothing. My chest tightened as I pulled out my phone to call her. Then I saw it, a message notification. From her. Sent 2 minutes ago. Except, it wasn't sent to me. It was a preview, just enough text to freeze my blood. "He's getting suspicious. I'll slip away again soon. Just wait for me." The rest of the message was cut off. For a moment I couldn't breathe. I just stared at the screen, the world blurring around the edges. She had sent it to someone else. Someone she was planning to meet. Tonight. While I stood in the middle of my work event playing the fool, I didn't open the full message. I was scared of what else I'd find. For midnight approaches. By the time I re-entered the ballroom, I wasn't the same man who'd arrived with her. My steps felt heavy, deliberate, as though one wrong move would shatter me entirely. I saw Aisha return, smoothing her hair, wiping something off her lip, lipstick maybe, or the ghost of someone else's touch. My stomach twisted. She smiled at me. "Hey, where'd you disappear to?" Her voice was normal. Too normal. "Just needed some fresh air," I replied, forcing a straight face. You. She blinked once. A microsecond of panic. Me. Same. I nodded slowly, pretending I didn't notice the lie. As the night crawled toward midnight, Daniel, who had disappeared for a long while, returned to the ballroom. But he looked tense. Unusually so. Few co-workers noticed, whispering. I tried to shove my anxiety aside until the moment happened. A moment I will never forget. 5. What he held in his hand. At exactly midnight, the elevator doors slid open with a dull chime. Everyone turned. Daniel stepped out. His suit jacket slightly misaligned, hair ruffled, eyes stormy. His right hand gripped something tightly. A woman's bracelet. Aisha's bracelet. The same delicate silver one I had gifted her on our 5th anniversary. The one she never took off. She froze beside me. Daniel's eyes locked onto her instantly. Then onto me. The room fell silent. The music still played, but it felt distant, muffled, irrelevant. He approached us slowly, each step deliberate. His jaw clenched, his grip tightening around the bracelet. Aisha, he said, voice low, strained. You dropped this. Drop. The word sliced through me. My wife's face lost all color. Daniel, don't. He cut her off sharply. I said you dropped it. A murmur rippled through the room. My heart hammered in my chest. Loud, heavy, painful. I stared at her. Him. At the bracelet that didn't lie. Something inside me cracked wide open. 6. The unraveling. I stepped forward. What's going on? Silence. She reached for the bracelet, but Daniel pulled it back, jaw trembling with barely contained anger or frustration. I couldn't tell. Tell him, he said to her. Or I will. My wife swallowed hard, eyes darting everywhere but my face. Her breaths quickened. Her hands shook. Aisha, I said, voice trembling despite my effort to steady it. Look at me. Her eyes finally rose to meet mine. There was guilt, fear, something broken. I made a mistake, she whispered. The room spun. What kind of mistake? Before she could speak, Daniel answered for her. They've been meeting, he said. Behind your back. 4 months. My throat closed. Aisha gasped. Daniel, stop. He stepped forward, lowering his voice but still loud enough for me. She told me it was over. Tonight she came to end things. He looked at her sharply. Didn't you? A tear slid down her cheek. I tried. And then what? I asked, barely breathing. Another silence. She didn't answer. Daniel did. She kissed me. The world collapsed. Just like that. 7. The fall. My legs felt unsteady, like the ground had shifted. You kissed him? I asked quietly. Her sob escaped her throat. I'm so sorry. Sorry, I whispered. That's what you have. Her face crumpled. It wasn't supposed to happen. I didn't expect to feel anything. It was stupid. I should have stopped it earlier. I stared at her like she was a stranger. Why? The word barely formed. She hugged herself, trembling. I felt invisible, Rahim. We drifted. You hardly talk to me anymore. I tried to tell myself it was nothing, that it would pass, but then Daniel. He listened. He made me feel noticed. Her voice wavered. But it wasn't love. It wasn't real. I swear to you. I shook my head slowly. You betrayed me. She cried harder. I know. And you brought our marriage to my workplace, I continued, voice cracking. To my boss. Daniel looked away, jaw tight, clearly battling his own storm of regret. Co-workers stood frozen, pretending to look elsewhere, failing miserably. It was all too much. The humiliation, the heartbreak, the slow, suffocating realization that I didn't know my wife anymore. I stepped back. She reached for me. Please, please don't walk away. I let her hand fall from mine. I'm not walking away, I said hoarsely. You already did. The aftermath. I left the ballroom without a single backward glance. Behind me I heard her sobbing. Heard Daniel calling someone to escort guests out. Heard whispers spreading like wildfire. But I didn't stop. Couldn't stop. Outside, the night air hit me like a punch. I leaned against a cold stone pillar and tried to breathe. I don't know how long I stood there. Minutes, hours. Time felt irrelevant when your world had fallen apart in front of colleagues, friends, strangers. Eventually, the doors opened gently. Aisha stepped out, mascara streaked, shivering. "Rahim, please," she whispered. "Let me explain everything properly. Please don't end us like this." I looked at her for a long, painful moment. "Do you even understand what you've destroyed?" I asked quietly. Her lip trembled. "I love you. I never stopped loving you." The cruel part was, I believe she loved me. But love wasn't enough. Not after the lies. Not after the betrayal. I shook my head. "No more tonight. I can't do this now." She stepped closer. "Will we be okay?" I swallowed the pain. "I don't know." It was the most honest answer I'd given in months. 9. The final breaking point. As I turned to leave, she whispered something so soft I almost missed it. "I'm pregnant." My whole body froze. My heart stopped. And with that single sentence, the final blow landed. I turned slowly, fear gripping my spine. "And you don't know whose it is, do you?" Her silence was the loudest answer I had ever heard. I felt everything shatter. My voice broke. "Aisha, how could you?" She collapsed into sobs. "I'm sorry. Please. Please don't leave me." I stepped back, shaking, devastated. "I need space," I said firmly. "I need time. And I need the truth. You owe me that much." She nodded, barely able to breathe through her tears. "I'll tell you everything. I promise." But promises felt cheap now. I started walking away. "Rahim," she cried after me. I didn't turn around. Not this time. 10. The ending that wasn't an ending. I stood at the edge of the parking lot, staring at the city lights through blurry eyes. There were no answers tonight. No forgiveness. No resolution. Just a broken man, a broken marriage, and the shattered remains of two lives that used to fit together perfectly. I knew tomorrow would come with decisions. Hard ones, painful ones. But tonight I allowed myself to break. Because at midnight, my boss walked in holding a silver bracelet. And it exposed everything I didn't want to see. And now nothing would ever be the same.